I'm just going to go ahead and postpone your test to Thursday and Friday. Since that whole day, just, yeah, if you want to cross that out, however you want to do it. That works. And then change the dates. I guess they'd be the 19th and the 20th. Okay. Oh, do you want to erase? Okay.
So Thursday and Friday.
Yes, please. And you can erase what's below that too. That sign, that was just, if it'll erase, it's really terrible. Because I don't want to try to squeeze it in. I mean, I know this is the last section, but I want you to have time to ask questions about it and that kind of stuff. Okay. So, identify the left and right end behavior of the function. So what's going on the left and the right? You look at, okay, let's look at the left. It's going up. Yeah, it's pointing up. What about on the right? It's going up. So as x approaches negative infinity, g of x approaches infinity. And as x approaches infinity, g of x still approaches infinity. So based on that, what do we have to know about the degree then, Tyler?
The degree is even.
Yep. It's even because they both point the same way. That's weird. I should have probably done like that. Whatever. And what about the leading coefficient then, Jose?
Positive.
Yeah, it's positive because they're both pointing up. All right. Identify zeros. Donna, give me some zeros. -3. And what would be the multiplicity of that?
2.
Well, yes, very good. Because these signs have not changed. So it's a multiplicity of 2. Give me another one, Hazella. -1 in the multiplicity.
1.
And again, we look at this. Multiplicity. Signs have changed. So it's 1. And there's another 0, Shelby.
2.
2 and the multiplicity? Also 1. Because the signs have changed. So no sign change for multiplicity of 2 and sign change for the other ones. Okay, the next one. Were we done? Oh, I guess that's all I had to do. Alright, maybe not. I was expecting to do more. Alright, so if the given function is not already factored completely, then factor it. Identify the zeros in the multiplicity. Then, using the zeros in end behavior, sketch a graph on the sketch a graph of the function on the axes provided. So, obviously, this is not factored. So, somebody tell me something I can factor out.
-2.
Yes. I can factor out a -2x, leaving me with x squared plus 4x plus 4. All right. Then, what about x squared plus 4x plus 4? Does that factor?
Yes.
Yeah, into what?
X plus 2 plus 2.
Yeah, two numbers that multiply to give you 4, and that add to give you 4 are both 2's. Okay, so little things that this tells us. first off, degree is odd. So how are they going to point? Opposite directions. First number, leading coefficient is negative. So what's that? Yeah. Down on the right, up on the left, something in the middle. All right. So those are good things to know. Oh, and we have, what are our zeros? Zeros are -2 and 0. Yes, you set each one of those equal to 0. X plus 2 equals 0. You'd solve that. It'd give you -2. -2x equals 0. You'd solve that. It would give you, my nose itches, 0. Now look at these. What about multiplicity? Do any of them occur more than once?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the -2 does. So that means it has a multiplicity of 2. And that one has a multiplicity of 1. Notice if you add those, I get 3, which I should. All right. So we have zeros at -2 and at 0. I know that it's supposed to point up over here. And I know that at -2, the multiplicity is 2. So I know it's just going to be tangent to it and come back up. Now, how high up, I don't know. But I do know it's going to come back down and go through that 0. Now, the shape of this picture is going to be the same regardless. But now how high up this middle part, I mean, it could be tons of different things. We don't know. I mean, we could figure it out, but I mean, all I want is I want the shape to be right. I want the zeros to be where they're supposed to be. I want them to point in the proper directions. You know, they need to point in opposite directions. Should be up on the left because the leading coefficient is negative. Here we go. Questions? Okay, the next one, we gotta factor it. So, we do this number. In the first set, it looks like I can factor out x squared, leaving me with 2x plus 3. What can I factor out of the second one? -9. Leaving me with 2x plus 3. Good to know. So we have 2x plus 3 and x squared minus 9. That'll factor. What does x squared minus 9 factor into?
X plus 3x plus 2.
Yeah. Oops. It is a difference of 2 squares. See how all this is coming into play? That's why all this was in the same section. Okay, so we're going to graph it. I have an odd degree, so it's going to point in the opposite directions. Leading coefficient is positive, so how's it going to point? Up on the right, down on the left, something in between. What are our zeros?
-3 or +3 and
Yeah.
1/2 or -1/2. Excuse me.
Yeah, so we've got +3, -3, and what?
-1/2.
Yeah, -1/2 or -3/2. To get these numbers, by the way, all we're doing is setting each of these equal to 0. We'll stop there. Work on any of the other homework that you don't have finished so that you can ask questions about it Monday.